So here it is, the iPhone 12. So I've been looking forward to this day for months now, and finally it is upon us. So the iPhone 12 is a pretty big changeover. You've got a brand new design, you've got updated displays, and just a lot of things going for it. But of course, there's a lot to talk about here. But I think it's pretty clear that the elephant in the room here is going to be the one decision that people can't get over, which is removing the power adapter and the earphones from the box. I think the earphones people weren't as upset, but the power adapter definitely people are. And you know, Apple's logic is that if they do that, they get to reduce costs and they get to improve the environment, and the environmental impact is pretty major according to them. So I think one of the things people don't realize is shipping is expensive, and just look at the difference between the size of the box of the iPhone 11 versus the 12. So you can kind of fit two iPhone 12 boxes in the area of one, which means that they can ship twice as much iPhone 12, which means less flights, less transport costs, less transportation used in general, which is lower emissions. So overall, you know, it's not just that the brick itself is going to be massive, but just think about everything, you know, that impacts down the line. So of course, I'm not going to say that this isn't motivated by cost. It definitely is, but there are definite benefits to it as well. So with that being said, let's just open it up and check it out. Of course, very similar Apple style here. I got the 128 gig blue iPhone 12. I was really hoping to get the mini, but since that is kind of delayed, I really didn't think it was there was a point waiting for it. So there we go. Boom. Right there, front and center. That blue is, it's definitely like a blue jeans kind of color is what I'd like to call it. You know, like dark blue jeans. Looks pretty cool. Let me pull it out. Looks good. Let me put this to the side for a second. All right, so cable. You've got your Apple stuff. You got your SIM card tool. You've got paperwork, Apple stickers. So not that much to speak about in the box, which was kind of clear from the get-go. So let me put this off to the side. And let's look at the phone itself. Right. One of the biggest changes that I saw that nobody seemed to have mentioned on the the early reviewers videos was that this is now a white sheet instead of a clear plastic. Apple is always giving you a clear plastic on the display, but this is white. So a lot of people, I did notice that they would kind of just use that on the phone as a screen protector for a pretty long time. But here they have changed it up, and the thing is, even though they changed it up, they did make it a little bit useful. So they kind of show you what every button is. So you know, the alert slider, the volume up, volume down, power. They even go as far as giving you the power symbol right here where the charger is supposed to sit. So that's a pretty cool addition. So before I do take that off, let's just look at the back here for a second. Looks really nice. Now, I'll be honest, I would have preferred a little bit of a different shade of blue. Maybe not as intense, a little bit darker, but I think that this is a really nice color. One thing that is pretty clear though is that the sides here, they match up very well with the Apple Watch. So let me see. So both aluminum Apple Watch and the aluminum blue phone, they match up pretty well, going hand in hand. So that's a nice combo there, which I think is fantastic. So let me go ahead and peel the screen, the protector. So not as satisfying as some of the other ones, but still pretty cool. So, you know, this looks really nice. In the hand feel, it feels pretty good. I'm not sure how I will feel about this after a little bit, but for the time being, it looks really nice. And it feels good too in the hand. The flat sides are really nice. So let's just let me grab my iPhone XR here to give you guys a comparison. So this is kind of an iPhone 11 too, if you want to think about it. And you guys can just see that size-wise, it's definitely like not as big as the 12. I'm sorry, the XR, which is the same size as the 11. So definitely a smaller frame there. It is thinner as well, even though it doesn't look thinner because of the flat sides. It is definitely thinner when you have them side by side. It just looks cool, but the one thing I will give these curved designs is that they're very comfortable to hold in the hand compared to flat edges. So let me power on the screen. let's see what it looks like. So this is the first time a entry-level iPhone comes with an OLED display. Now the entire 2020 lineup, the new phones have OLED, which is fantastic. You can tell right off the bat, looks super good. The deep black, so powered right on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this up real quick and give you guys my initial impressions of what things are. Okay, so I just kind of rushed through the setup process, got to the phone, and I've been using it for a couple of minutes, and my initial impressions are, I like the feel of the phone in the hand. It feels really cool. Now, the one thing I can already tell is that this is going to be a little bit of an issue on my palm because, you know, I can already start to feel it kind of digging in, and after about maybe an hour or so of use, I think that this could start to potentially be an issue. Now, so far so good, but really this is going to be something I will cover a little bit more on my long-term review. So another thing that I want to talk about is the power button situation here, where I think that the power button is a little bit more recessed in compared to the older phones. It was just a lot easier to feel out the older phones, especially since it was kind of a curved edge anyways. It was just easier to feel something out, whereas compared to this, it doesn't feel like it's as protruding, so it feels a lot more flush, which isn't the greatest thing when you want a button, which is something you'll use a lot of the times. But the thing is, the power buttons does feel a little more recessed, but the volume buttons don't as much. So I don't know what it is. It could just be something that's in my head more than anything else. Besides that, you know, this phone is definitely smaller in every aspect, you know, compared to the 10R and 11, which is fantastic. I will say that so far this display is fantastic, and I honestly can't tell much. I will say though that the having a flat display after, I'd say, ever since the iPhone 6 in 2014, we've had kind of these kind of curved displays. They're not the curved display, but the glass is curved. Having flat glass completely just feels really nice. The bezels, you know, the bezels are so uniform. It looks really good. I think that's one thing where other Android phones just don't nail, though. The bezels are never uniform, and they're a little bit thicker on the bottom than they are on the sides, and very few Android phones seem to nail that, whereas Apple has been doing that regardless of the model. You know, maybe the bezels are thicker, but they will always be uniform, which is a continuing trait here. It just looks really good. And when you compare it, the bezels have definitely shrunk. Let me open up, let's just say, settings on this, and you guys will be able to see how much of a difference the bezels look. It's just a lot thicker. Hang on, let me punch in here, zoom in so you guys can see. It's just like it's a night and day difference there between the two, and I think it was due time for that. And I've tested out the camera a little bit, played with it. It looks very similar to the iPhone 11 and the current phones right now, so I'll definitely take a little bit more time to properly test it. Audio as well sounds, the speakers are pretty much the same exact quality and volume as the past phone, so that's something again that is not too differential. But I think the biggest change of this phone is clearly its design and the design language. So I think that it's going to be a really cool experience to actually just try to start using this phone and try it out. And before I go, I do want to show you guys the magnets. So welcome to the science portion of the video, where I have, thanks to Marquez, who I think is probably single-handedly boosted this industry into crazy sales. So here's my magnet paper, and you guys can clearly see the magnet in the center of the phone for MagSafe. And you guys will also notice that there are 3 lines here, which I'm still not sure what exactly, you know, I think it's just extra security. But as you kind of go down, you'll also see that here's the speaker. And then I don't know what this is. It could be something. I'm not sure, but I'm not going to guess if I don't know. So that's pretty cool. And let me, on the topic of magnets, let's grab the MagSafe charger and see what it's like. So MagSafe, it just kind of like when you get it close enough, it just kind of sticks, and that's it. You're ready to go. And it is definitely a strong connection. Like, I am shaking it, and it is not getting loose. Like, even removing it takes a decent amount of force. So it's definitely not falling off. So I know that a lot of people saw Marquez's video where his wasn't as strong. But I've seen a bunch of other videos, and in my own experience, I'm seeing that this is quite strong. Now, I'm not sure how, like, it'll take very crashes and bumps, like if you used it as a mount on a car or something. But when charging, like, it is not, like, look at that. I have to violently shake it for it to come off, and that's not something you do on a day-to-day basis. So just like general tugs and pulls, really doesn't do much unless it's with a lot of force. So that's awesome. MagSafe, I think, is definitely the future. And, you know, I'm going to wrap it up here with this one, guys. I am very excited to get to set this phone up and try it out and give you guys a more comprehensive review of it. Now, if you haven't already, be sure to follow me on social media. I have all the behind the scenes of the unboxing and just the entire experience of picking the phone up and all that wonderful stuff. All the handles are going to be on the screen right here, and of course down in the description below. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel. A lot of iPhone 12 videos coming, including the silicone case unboxing, which should be up a couple of hours after this video. So I'm going to be unboxing this and trying it out as well. So if you're interested in that, be sure to subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions, if you have any thoughts on the iPhone 12s, again, the comment section is open. Go hit them up down there. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll catch you in the next one.